Hello, everyone. Welcome to Founder Freedom Experiment. This is the session number 4. Before we start, quick check. Can you hear me well? If yes, just drop a quick yes in the chat. Let's first see if you can hear me clearly. Yes. Okay, perfect. We got the first yes, so that's a go ahead. So today we are talking about something that I think that most of the founders are almost trained to do automatically. And this is setting goals, okay? Revenue goals, goals, hiring goals, expansion goals as well. And I want to challenge whether that should actually be the place where we start. Okay? So, just to place today in the bigger founder freedom journey, in session 1, we asked, did I build a business or a prison? Then session 2 was about the leadership team. Why does my team behave the way it does? And how to align them for success. Session 3, last one, was about why working in the company doesn't work and how do I actually start working on the company. And today, we are actually going one step before that. Because before you redesign the company, you need to know, and listen, what am I building up towards? What will life and business look like 1 year from now? So, for those who are new in here, I'm Estefania Madra. Although most of the people call me Epi, I'm a growth partner to founders and leadership teams specialized in people and change management. With a background in law, project management, and operations, I work at the intersection of leadership, organizational systems, and growth, helping founders build companies that perform without consuming them, because I deeply believe that building a successful business should not mean sacrificing your happiness on your life. And I really believe that people who are brave enough to start their own, they deserve to be able to do it in a happy way. So let's get to it. This is the flow of the session, okay? We will keep this very practical as every session. First, I want to challenge the way we normally think about goals. Then I will introduce you to the target picture. We will look at the 3 reasons why this is so powerful. And at the end, I'll give you the actual canvas so you can start building yours. Is it fine? Drop a yes in the chat if you're aligned. Drop a yes, and we give it a go. Okay, cool. So let me start with the non so comfortable part. Uh, Guys, you can achieve every single goal you set and still build the company in the wrong direction. Think about that. You can hit the revenue, you can hire the people, you can enter new market, you can get the clients, and still wake up 1 year from now thinking, oh, I don't actually want to run this company. Or I have more revenue, but I also have more problems, more employees, more people depending on me, more clients, less time to actually think. It's like the old metaphor. I'm not sure if you heard about this, but you can be incredibly good at climbing the ladder, but at some point, you have to ask, is this ladder even leaning against the right wall? That's the question for today. So instead of starting with how much money do I want to make, how many people do I want to hire, how much do I want to grow, I want you to start, which are very valid questions by the way, but I want you to start somewhere else. What will my life and business actually look like 1 year from now? And I mean both, not just the company. What does your life look like? What is your role? What kind of people are around you? What are clients experiencing? What are you still doing? And maybe even more important, what are you no longer doing? So this is the distinction, right? Goals usually start from today. And if you were present in last session that we worked with the helicopter perspective, etc., then you are one step ahead and you can understand better what we're talking about. But goals usually start from today, right? So here is my company. How do I get more sales? I set a goal. How do I hire more people, get my team bigger? You set a goal. How do I improve efficiency? How do I make this thing bigger or working better? Um, and there's nothing wrong with these questions, okay? The danger is that they can make you incredibly effective at optimizing the company that you already have. And that can keep you working in the current machine. Okay? Type in if you are following. Type in the chat real quick. Good. Good, good, good. I'm seeing your comment, guys. I'm seeing your comments. Nice, nice. So goals are good, but they can keep you working in the company, in the current machine. And we saw last session what happened when we work in the company, not on the company, from the helicopter perspective, for example, as one of the tools. So target picture starts somewhere completely different, okay? It starts from the future. What should exist instead? What does the future life look like? What kind of company could actually produce that result? What kind of company can actually produce that life? So we work backwards, okay? Life, role, company, leadership system, and only then what needs to change today. You see the difference? Okay, drop a yes in the chat if you're following. There we go, and we go to the next slide. So by this time you have an idea, but I want to be super clear. What is a target picture? Very simply, it's a concrete visual and emotional description of the future reality you want to create for your life and for the company. The important words here are concrete, visual, emotional. You should be able to walk into it, almost walk into it, into your vision, okay, into the target picture. So As we said before, a target picture is not a goal, is not a budget, is not a strategy plan. Those things come later. The target picture gives them direction, okay? But if I don't know what I'm trying to create, then my strategy is just movement, strategy towards what? My budget, it's just numbers, and my goals are milestones, okay? So the picture comes first. It gives the direction with a life and a business that you are happy. Okay? Nice. So let's move forward because I want to give you the 3 reasons why this is powerful for founders, particularly powerful for founders. Guys, and listen up. There are 3 main reasons that I'm listing here on screen. The first one is clearness, the second one is stability, and the third one is talent or attracting talent. So stay with me. I want to get to this point. Let's go through them. So, clearness. Number 1, okay? A target picture gives you clearness. It makes things clear, okay? And yes, I'm deliberately deliberately using the word clearness. Why? Because internally, something changes when you can finally say, this is what I want. Listen up. Not what the market wants, not what LinkedIn tells me a successful founder should build, not what the investor expects, not what somebody else's company looks like. This is what I want. And suddenly the target picture becomes a personal measurement. Okay, so if something comes to you, an opportunity, a client, a partnership, new market, a new product, you can ask yourself, does this take me closer to the picture or farther away? If yes, if it takes you closer, then you will explore it. If not, then maybe you need to say no. This is where the target picture brings clearness. So what I'm meaning here is that, I know, guys, this is difficult for founders because we tend to see opportunities everywhere. I know, I feel you. But not every good opportunity is your opportunity. Sometimes something is objectively a fantastic opportunity, but for somebody else. Clearness protects you from building the company by reaction. Because if everything looks interesting, then everything becomes a distraction. Can you relate with what I'm saying so far? If yes, then drop relate in the chat. Can you relate with lack of focus and want to seize every opportunity? Please replace in the chat, relate in the chat. Nice, nice, good. So the second one is stability, okay? Um, the target picture creates stability for your motivation because entrepreneurship is incredibly unstable. You know what I mean again, right? If I had a roller coaster, that's like the perfect image to place in here. I should have like put a roller coaster in here. It's incredibly unstable. One week everything works, but the next week something else explodes, right? You lose a client, or they don't pay, or someone quits, or cash get tight. The market changes. There are like so many things that can happen. Like something that you were sure to work, it doesn't work, right? So, and I think that we underestimate something, okay? We need emotional stability, not just strategic ambition. So goals can be sometimes, goals goals sometimes make instability worse. Because imagine that your goal is 10 million dollars or euros, and you're sitting at 3. Every time you look at the number, your brain is basically saying 7 million missing, 7 million missing, 7 million missing. That can create pressure very quickly, but the target picture gives you something different. It reminds you, why am I building this? What kind of company am I creating? What kind of life is this supposed to make possible? So the business will go up and down. That's normal. But the picture gives you something stable to orient yourself toward. And that is resilience. Then the third one is talent. Anybody knows why talent is in here? Wild guess? Any wild guess? Okay, I think that this is like literally an unfair advantage, and you will know why in a moment. So the third one, this is massively, massively underestimated, guys. Like massively. A target picture helps you to attract the right talent. Yes, as you're hearing it. And in itself, I think that, of course, this can become your unfair advantage. Why? Because people don't only join companies, they join a vision for the future, a picture for the future. Imagine like interviewing somebody, and instead of saying, well, here is the job description, these are the KPIs or OKRs, here is the salary, you can say, this is what we are building towards. This is what we are trying to build. This is how we want clients to experience us. This is how we want people to work here. You see the difference? Even like this is the type of company that we want to become. And this is where the founders can express how you guys want to be 1 year from now. Okay, so the target pictures allow the rest of the people to actually join your mission and the company mission. So now it's a collaboration environment. So something really interesting happens is that you don't need to convince anybody anymore, because the right person can say, hey, I want to build this too. I want to build towards the same. And of course, the wrong person can say, hey, no, this is not for me. And fantastic, that's alignment. Okay. So a clear target picture turns hiring from persuasion into alignment. And in here, I want to also say something that I keep repeating, which is most of the time we interview the person for the role, but we should also interview the role for the person, the other way around, because not every role is for everybody. Okay, so it creates alignment, like two ways. This is what we're building forward. Hey, do you want to join us or not? Okay, now, very important. How do I write it? Right? Okay, it needs to be written visually. What do I mean by this? Um, it's not, for example, we will be the market leader delivering excellence through innovative solution. No, that's not a target picture. Okay? Like from the outside, I have absolutely no idea what that looks like. You need to write something that your brain can actually see, like specific, emotional, simple, and literally like alive. That's the target picture, okay? Remember, you need to be able almost to walk into it. Imagine that somebody reads it and can almost say, oh yes, I can picture this in my mind. That's the result, the outcome that you want to get with the target picture. So this brings us to numbers, okay? Because obviously somebody in the audience might be thinking, hey, Epi, this is a business. What are the numbers? And the problem is not the numbers are wrong. We need numbers. The problem starts when the number becomes the picture because numbers are linear and numbers don't naturally create emotional pictures in people's mind. Sometimes they actually create fear. And if you walk into a company and tell everybody, hey, we need to make 20 million, some people will get excited, of course. But a lot of people will also think, oh, okay, why, how, what does that mean for me? Am I like, is it my position safe? Are we going to cut people? Do I suddenly need to work twice as much? So instead, write the picture first and then define the financial requirement that keeps the company alive. I like thinking about this as the baseline. Okay, so for example, for this company to survive long term and continue solving our client problems properly, we need to generate X amount of revenue. That number is not run faster or we failed. It's this is the economic requirement for this company to exist. And now, how do we create such incredible value for our customers that the company naturally becomes economically sustainable? So the client stays at the center, the numbers become a requirement, but not the identity of the company. You see the difference? Drop a yes in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat. And let me also give you another piece of news is that your team, okay, uh, does not live inside of your entrepreneurial brain. And I think that we founders forget this constantly because you might wake up thinking growth, opportunity, risk, expansion, cash flow, new product, new market, ta ta ta. Your team member may wake up thinking, oh, I need to take the kids to school. Will my salary come at the end of the month? Do I know what I'm responsible for? Am I doing a good job? Do I have a future here? People bring their normal lives into the company, and that's not a problem. Okay, that's a reality. So, part of leadership is packaging the future in a way that people can understand, feel safe enough inside, and also contribute, if they want, toward. So, without asking everybody to carry your founder level anxiety, right? So, let's make all of this useful. This is the 1 year target picture canvas. You can take a screenshot if you want. And notice where we start. Not revenue. We start with life. What does my ideal Monday look like? Then the role. Who am I inside of this company? What am I doing? What I'm not longer doing? Then the company. What does it look like? Clients. What problems do we solve better than anybody? Talent. Who wants to build this with us? And of course, baseline, right? What financial requirement protects the long-term survival of this company? So life first, and then business design. Now, to finish this part of the presentation, I want you guys to take a screenshot now and download, okay, a full practical guide that I made for you. So you can get your phone or take a screenshot and scan the QR code. These are not only the questions that we just went through. This guide goes much deeper into each part of the canvas with questions designed to make your you think about your life, your role, your organization, clients, talent, and the financial requirements and reality underneath. So take your time now, take a screenshot before we go into the Q&A. And yeah, try to write it down because writing forces you to like actually make this big thinking concrete. So I want to leave you with the same question before we go into the Q&A that we started, which is what will your life and business actually look like 1 year from now? Not what you hope happens. No. What revenue target did you put in the spreadsheet? What you can actually see? No. Because once that becomes clear, strategy gets easier, priorities get easier, saying no gets easier, hiring gets easier. So target picture. Let's open the room for the Q&A and bring me something real, a goal that you're currently chasing, a decision that you don't know where to say yes or no, maybe a contradiction between the company you're building and the life that you actually want to build. And thank you guys again for being here on a Sunday on the fourth session of Founder Freedom Experiment. There are very interesting questions coming up in session after session. So I will monitor your questions now. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I am trying now a new tool. We are broadcasting right now on YouTube. So every session we have an improvement. Let's see if there are some questions in the chat. There we go. I think we have the first question. Mhm. Let's see. Thank you so much, Liju. Thank you, Liju. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Joey. Thanks, everybody, for joining today on Sunday. We still have a few minutes, so I will leave the room open for questions. Whatever you are now facing in your company, in your life, think about something that it's contradictory in your own organization. I see this a lot, and I'm mentioning contradictions because I hear this a lot. How do I attract good people to the company? Wow, this is a fantastic question, Liju. So, have you thought about creating your target picture? Do you have something similar to the target picture created already? Yes. Okay, fantastic. So you are like a few steps ahead. So there will be a specific chapter about hiring and bringing the right talent into the organization, but I will still reply to this question in the most summarized possible way. So once you build your target picture and you are clear with the type of life and company that you're building towards, then it's the time to design the organization. When you design the organization, you don't do it alone. You can actually do it with the people that are joining your company or that are already in your company. So let's say the target picture gives you, Liju, an unfair advantage because it already places in your mind and in the mind of the person that is joining the future. Okay. So they can also help you sorry, they can also help you out building this future towards in the organizational design step. Do you remember that we saw this last session? So clarity on the vision and the company that you're building. Then clarity on expectations. And very important in here, lead you both ways. Expectations from your side. What do you expect from this team member? And then what does this person also requires from you as a founder? That's clarity of expectation. Then I will mention something that we will develop better in the next session, in the session that it's dedicated to this, but also including or integrating their life. Let them integrate their life into the organization. Like understand that right now, people, I mean, we are going through a massive change and decentralization in absolutely everything, like finances, politics, internet, work. Like generations and things are changing so fast that new generations don't really need these type of jobs anymore. Okay, there are many ways of generating revenue and um, bring food home. So integrating their lives into their company as 360-degree human beings, that's also a very important part of this new leadership doctrine that we are developing here in the Founder Freedom Experiment. So when you're open, you're clear, you have a clear vision, a clear direction point. When you integrate their lives in the organization, that's when you are gonna attract the right talent. And of course, give them space and freedom to bring ideas and execute them right away. This is a very important point as well. It's at the end of the sessions in this program that will be a really good one, and it's related to innovation. Is this pointing you in the right direction, lead you? Do you feel that this is clear? Maybe you want to go more in deep in any point. Just drop it in the chat, please. And let's continue with this topic because it's very interesting. We will do a few sessions on this topic exactly, but really, really good question. Let me know if it's clear. There is another one from Vincent. How will I know I'm attracting the right people into the company? How will I know that I'm attracting the right people into the company? Hmm. Vincent, you will know with, I would say, time first, of course. You can have a really good system. You can have, you can be really good at attracting talent. Then, like any relationship, right? It needs a little bit of time to actually see if this person is also in full alignment. Okay, not just because of the things that they say, but mostly because of the things that they do. So, Vincent, in here, I know that it can be, I mean, I put myself in your shoes right now. I know that this can be like the really like you can feel a little bit I don't want to say desperate or anxious, but yes, it can be a little bit unsettling when you're expanding and you're bringing people into the picture because you think that everybody will do it as you do. And sometimes like people just don't. which is fine. So I will say give it time, but don't fall into one of the biggest mistakes in here, which is, and I see this every day in my work, a lot of founders going into the control mode because you need to set the system, have clarity, give expectations, put expectations out there, and then let people do their job, bring ideas and execute them. Over time, this is how you can actually see if this is working. And of course, measure number one, client. Is the client satisfied? Is the client happy? Is the client being served at its best? So let me know, Vincent here. Okay, there are a few replies. I will read them out loud from Robert. Thank you, Robert. So Robert says, people choose companies where they can connect the real life situation with the company. The companies which will in the future understand the real life situation of people and which will offer the best solutions for the life balance with interesting tasks, they will win. Actually, Robert, if you want, you can open your mic, right? And explain this to the audience. I think it will
Ah,
be very interesting.
okay. Thank you, AP.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to answer Mr. Leo Thomas very interesting questions. Um, I never look any CV. I never look any letter who come to me. I'm on my career websites in my companies. It's forbidden to send me an CV or an introduction letter. Because first of all, yeah, I don't like to look to these things. It's wasted time. In recruiting, it's very important to have the right people in the right place. So when you establish a company and you build the right system, you have strong thinking about what should be the result, what is my target picture, how which role function I need to really 100% solve the problems of my clients. In this moment, you need the right people in the right role or function. That's why you need to recruit in a different way. Any CV which you read or any introduction letter is only made on the point of view of the candidate, not of your view. And the biggest mistake is to build a judgment about a candidate not based on the real facts. So, what I mean, I have case studies, okay? I create 3 case studies, and the case studies are very tricky. So the client get from me send it 3 case studies, and he has to solve it in a written way, but also that he cannot use AI so easy. Also in the interview, without AI, without phone, without any help, he need to answer questions to these case studies. So then I can see if he did it by himself or if he did with AI. Which, of course, you are completely right. It's increasing number of people who do this. But these people we don't need in our companies. We need the people who understand what is the job, what is the task, and how to solve it and how to do it. So I focus strong on this. For me, it doesn't matter what somebody write in his CV. I want to find the right person for the right role and function and with the right result. And this I check very detailed. Not only with the case studies, also with a special kind of interview. But we, EP, I think, will do an separate talk about this recruiting and how it's really work in a perfect way. Okay. So I did this with more than 2,000 people in my life and in all countries in the world. I did it in US exactly the same like in Dubai now, or like I do it in Germany or in Switzerland. So it's very interesting. The result I had in 20 years almost no fluctuation. The people not leave because from beginning I bring the right people in the right place. And I check what exactly is their life situation and how to connect their real life situation with the company. And this is in the future very important. So we do a special task about it, a special, I think, Sunday talk, because this is one of the, also from psychology, one of the most important topics in entrepreneurship and in a founder's life. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely yes. Thank you so much, Robert. Please drop any follow-up questions if you have. And while you do this, let me tell you that next Sunday it will only be Q&As. There are not going to be any decks. We are only replying to your questions, Robert and I. So, any type of questions, bring them. Also, feel free to review the recordings. They are on YouTube. I also send them through the email, and it's on our WhatsApp group. I send the replays, the links, so you can revisit that and work on the templates as well that are downloadable for free. So you can start working on these yourself. And next session, it's full Q&A. Okay, so half an hour of only your questions with Robert and myself. So you have our brains to pick our brains. And there is another question. So do you want me to read it, Robert? It says,
Higher talent.
oh, it's a comment. It says companies that are growing fast know they would ideally hire talent based on skills, aptitude, and
Mhm.
related. This
Okay.
makes sense and it's the smart move, but realistically, it takes time to actually put it
Yeah.
into practice. Barat says this.
Yes. Correct. This is a correct input, but yeah, the solution is from my side a clear solution. When you do this with case studies and when you do it really strong based and find out the real skills of the people, yeah. I have always a simple sample. I hired in the time when AI and all this technology things was not in this way. I hired a secretary and I asked 5 times in the interview, do you do you really can work with Excel? Okay. Answer, yes, I Excel, I do my whole life. Okay, we hired her. 2 days later, I need a special Excel sheet. Yeah, the truth came out. She 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 had not one clue about Excel. Okay, but in this time I learned a lot. So I learned how to really test people and how to really do it. And I changed my approach very radical when I understood how how bad my recruiting was before and how often it failed. I really changed it radical and did it from one day to the other completely different. And it worked very fast. Very fast. I got much better results and much better people.
And also let me add in here, Robert,
Yeah.
like I have a stat for this. Like replace think about how much it costs to replace somebody. Okay. A
Mhm.
mid-level
Yeah.
manager, there are studies about this. Replacing a mid-level manager can cost your company between 50% and 200 of their annual salary.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So
Very expensive.
the cost of rehiring, recruiting again, it's very high.
Yeah.
So this is why this is a very interesting topic, okay?
Mhm.
Very interesting topic. So keep the numbers as well in your mind. I share the link so you can download the guide. And there is a few, one more question that we can take. If we have a few moments, how long did it take to change your past approach to an improved one, Robert? A
I
question from.
answered before. Uh, it
Oh,
worked
sorry.
very fast. As soon I understood that what I did before was failing and not help me to find the right person for the right function or role, I changed this radical. I was, yeah, do it overnight. I changed all and result was much better.
Nice, fantastic. Um, so I think that's it. If there are not more questions, I
Mhm.
mean, we still have some time if you want to drop more questions. I like to read the question out loud for the people that are either on YouTube and cannot see the chat, or for the people that are watching the recording. I like to read the questions out loud so they don't lose uh, the chain.
If you allow me, EP, I
Of
want to
course.
add one thing about the target picture because sometimes it's a little bit difficult for people to understand this. Um, of course, it's in this way, as a company, you create somehow goals, okay? And what AP explained today already was why the most goals are not working for the companies is because they mostly based on numbers. Yeah. And the numbers have some tricky functions, so which are not really create the visual brain. But there's an interesting thing. There's a study where the universities took 1,000 students and 500 students learned not numbers, they learned only with pictures and in a visual way. And the other students learned in the classical way, so all based on logic, all based on linear numbers and linear sentences. And the other group worked with mind mapping and creativity technologies and techniques. The interesting result was that the 500 students who worked in the visual way had much better results in the final tests and exams like the other ones. So you could see that the people who use the brain in a correct way, who use the right tools for the brain, had much better results. And the same I can see in my and AP's consulting in the companies when we change the numbers to visuals, already 1 year later, result much better. Yeah, we have even sometimes profit increases of 10%, which I really can approve. I can approve what the people changed with a correct and good target picture. Yeah. And a small input, start your target picture when you think about with, okay, on 31 of December 2027, I will drive to my company. What I will see. If you only use this one sentence, your creativity, your visual thinking, your visual brain come already into working. And then you are on the right way. So, because the people can only follow you when they know where you want to go as a founder or entrepreneur, what AP said before. Good, I'm ready.
Nice. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Robert.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Sunday, for making such good questions, for contributing, being there, active on the chat. I hope to see you, everybody, next Sunday. We are gonna do only Q&As, replying Robert and myself, no decks. So get your questions ready. You can also email them to me directly, or text them to me directly, and we will happy to prepare them for the session. So thank you so much. See you next Sunday, and stay epic. Bye. Bye,
Thank you very much.
Liju. Bye, Joey. Bye, Barat. Bye, Robert. Bye,
Bye bye.
Vincent. Bye bye. Thank